All right, time now for the playbook presented by Modelo. It all comes down to this in the SEC, Texas and Texas A&M. At Kyle Field next weekend, Matty Sims back to the touchscreen to break it all down. Let's start with Texas A&M and Marcel Reed. He wasn't the starter at the start of the season, but he has really helped them get to where they are right now. What do you like from him?
I love the fact that he is a true dual-threat quarterback, and what they get to do, Texas A&M, very strong offensive line, right? That is really the strength of their offensive unit. Now without Le'Veon Moss, right? They're that Batman-Robin duo in the backfield. The key will now be focused on how can we get Marcel going on the ground to keep the balance as they run and passing attack of this offense. What we see with this play right here, South Carolina, great defensive front. They match this with a bear front. So essentially what that means is that they're covering every single Texas A&M offensive lineman across the board with the defender. When we get this look, now Texas A&M has a great advantage of blocking down this whole line, right? So the extra tight end at the top, everyone is blocking down. We are going to pull a guard out to kick out this defensive end that's coming up the field, and we're going to actually pull the backside tackle to be the lead man that leads the way up for Marcel Reed on this quarterback design run. And this is what I love about these concepts. You get an extra blocker with the running back, and you get your athletic quarterback going right down the field in the teeth of a defense. Now, this is a talented defensive front. You see, right, the strength of the Texas A&M offensive line creating that wall right there. And on a 2nd and 10 football play right there, your quarterback gets a nice gain of about 9.5, 10 yards there to start, this football game off here in the second quarter. And that's what I love about what Texas A&M can do, because they can tighten formations and still be focused on the running game while then doing these things, right? Now, young quarterback, obvious passing situation in 2nd and 10. We're in an empty formation, or we're going to motion late here into an empty formation with the back going out here late. And now we're going to get an easy completion for our young quarterback to feel confident against another talented, defensive front, one of the best. I mean, they can get after the passer. So we get a late motion out here. And now with this look right here, we have a two-shell type of defense, by the South Carolina defense. All right, we have two backers on the field right here, and we have a nickel back here playing in space. With this motion, this whole unit now is going to slide open in space to cover the field more because it is a 3-receiver set now. So we're going to get more of a balanced shift.
And what's that tell him?
What that tells him is that now the whole play design is what? To take advantage of my guy here in the slot versus who? A linebacker. So now we're going to get a guy with speed against a big man in space. And typically the guys with speed, they win those matchups a lot. He's going to set him up. He's going to press vertical. And this is essentially a one-man route. Marcel is just making sure that this area of the field is open. It is in this situation. He's going to set up this linebacker cross face for an easy completion and get a lot of yards after the catch right there. So that was most likely designed like an option route to give the receiver the ability to go break in, break out, or sit versus zone. And what they're doing is they're making the game very simple for the young quarterback. Let's do a one-on-one matchup with a spread formation so he can see it and also alleviate the pressure, too, of knowing when he's hot and all those things, too, so he can play fast.
Marcel Reed's been great for Texas A&M. This game next week is kind of a different level because the winner gets to go to Atlanta to play in the SEC title game.
No doubt.
Now, Quinn has played in quite a few of these games, whether it be the Red River shootout or other rivalry games. He's going to be ready to go. What have you liked what you've seen from him this year?
Well, what I love about this team, right, and what they do, Sark, he has so many different ways to help his quarterback just get out of those tough moments. We even saw today in the football game versus Kentucky. They have more screenplays than I didn't even know was possible you can design.
Bubble screens everywhere.
I mean, they got like 50 screenplays, it seems like, every single game. And with the shifts and motions that they have, that is their greatest asset. So a lot of moving parts here for defenses to focus on. So here we have the Arkansas football game. We had a back that lined up in the stack formation here before the snap. We're going to send him in motion around an orbit motion. We have done on these breakdowns multiple receiver screens, running back screens at the line of scrimmage. This is all going to be that smoke and mirrors action with this right now. The whole play design is this. We are going to fake outside zone to the back. He will be our check swing. We have a shallow cross by the tight end. And when we're going to just have like a nice smooth in cut here by the outside receiver. The shallow cross is what we would call in the NFL world, it's an eliminator shallow. And what does that mean? We're eliminating a defender from Quinn Ewers' read because we are basically saying to this tight end, go and get covered by the middle linebacker to make the zone behind him that much more open. So when we see this motion, all right, motion at the line of scrimmage, Arkansas shifts now and rotates to a 3-deep look, 5 under. So they have 5 defenders right here, right, in this area, all playing underneath, trying to stop either a run or some sort of short intermediate pass, what Texas does so well. With the action in the backfield, look at Quinn's eyes immediately. Where does it go? To the back. He's literally looking at him. Not going to throw him to him for a second. What he wants to do, though, is affect these defenders here that are looking and cueing on Quinn. They adjust with his eyes. Okay, they shift. Now he goes back to who? Their talented tight end who is running to be occupied by the middle linebackers. As we see that, look at the vacated window again by this defense, leaving this hole wide open in the back end for him to just throw a beautiful in-cut in rhythm to Bolden for an easy completion, a rhythm play right there. And you see the beautiful rhythm by there. That's the key for Quinn. Can Sark keep him in that rhythm consistently with their downfield passing concepts?
For all the changes that Texas had last year at the skill position, 4 players out to the NFL, they bring in all these transfers. One of the biggest difference makers, it seems, is just their speed and these play concepts that allow them to get open in space. That's what Quinn wants to do, and that's what Sark wants to do.
No doubt. And now here we're going to see an opposite approach to Sark, right? With Marcel Reed, we saw tight condense. We have a strong offensive line. Let's help our running back get into it, right, with that talented offensive line and be physical. Now Sark is going to condense the formation, but be aggressive in the passing game. And what is he trying to do? He is trying to make the Arkansas defenders, whoever is covering the running back and man, which I believe is this defender right here, to work through all of the traffic on the back end. So this is a setup play where we're basically running, you know what we're doing? We're doing the picket fence in basketball. We're just trying to create a wall of people to distract where we're trying to go with the football. We're trying to get Quintravian Wisner the football in the backfield here on a rail route. So he's running a rail, okay? On the ball, over the ball is the rule. He is running an OTB route. Gunnar Helm is running a shallow cross again, but he is the pick man for now the opposite guy coming across on that shallow cross. So the read is this, Sam. It's number 1 to the back. It's number 2 to the shallow cross. It's number 3 to the OTB. So it's a pure progression across the board. Rail, shallow, OTB. And what we see here is a lot of moving parts again, condensed formation, fight through the traffic. Because of this is the guy that I told you that was covering the back of the backfield, right? He's got 2 people running right past him, right? And with that, he gets lost in the fray. And now it's an easy pitch and catch for your quarterback out of the backfield for an explosive play in a really close game at the moment right there. And look how easy that is for your quarterback. That's a great way to build confidence for this football team. And that seems to be the recipe for Sark each and every week, where he has those 5 or 6 plays for Quinn no matter what. Hey, don't worry. We're going to get you back in rhythm because we're going to get you an easy completion here. And that's really the battle that Texas A&M has. The formations, the shifts, the motions, and also, do you have the discipline to pay attention to what is actually your rule and assignment on every single play?
It's going to be crazy to see that atmosphere at Kyle Field. Can Texas be able to play within that atmosphere? That will be one of the biggest questions, I think.
Awesome.
And can Marcel Reed, in probably the biggest game of his life, show out on his home field?
And hey, I'm excited too because I am so glad Texas A&M, I was honored enough to be at a few of these when my brother played. And I am so pumped that they are now a part of the SEC family, making the atmosphere that much more wild and rowdy. So it's going to be a fun one for sure.
It certainly is. That was the playbook presented by Modelo. Thank you very much,
Yes,
Maddie.